Why? The confusion with SOC and IR. My name is Jymit Khondhu. I'm a security engineering manager at Amazon Web Services, AWS, and I manage and lead a team of automated threat detection and response engineers in our cloud security organization. I've worked in security operations and engineering at places like Credit Karma, Rackspace, Elastic, Logarithm, and Zimbra. I hold a few GX certifications, but nowadays who doesn't? And I'm a fan of their training conferences and resources. Shout out to Ben Doherty and Grant of InfoSec BattleBots. I met them at B-Sides Dublin earlier this year, and I guess that's why I'm here. And disclaimer, all views are my own and not of my employer. This is not a talk related to AWS, it's just my subjective take on the topic. Abbreviations that might pop up: SOC, Security Operations Center, IR, Incident Response, DFIR, Digital Forensics and Incident Response, MARE, Malware Analysis and Reverse Engineering, and JD. I'll probably use that one the most, just meaning job description. Okay, so I want to talk about commonly noticed misunderstandings I see from SOC analysts today. So, a couple of questions. Does working in a SOC automatically make you an incident responder? No, maybe. Is it a good pathway and builds the needful skills? Yes. Is diving into logs and closing alerts incident response? It depends. And this talk is for the new folks, perhaps in your first, second, or third SOC type role. So I'm going to go over some JDs, and I've highlighted, going over some SOC ones specifically to start off with, and I've highlighted in orange, I've got SOC responsibilities, blue IR responsibilities, and the red for threat, just to see how many times the word threat comes up and where confusion can lie. So job A, I'm just going to talk about the highlighted pieces. Job A, rapid investigation and response. Mention of security incidents, but also handling escalated security incidents and performing investigations. And these are just SOC analyst roles. Job B, develop threat detection capabilities, identify, prioritize, detect, and purple teaming. Also, if you can work out where these job descriptions come from, that's fine, have at it. C, accurate detection, response, containment, and the word threat, intrusion detection, threat hunting, and some sensitive data before a potential breach. Job D, respond to threats. The threats come up again. Responding to alerts and incidents. Incidents, I'm correlating with incident response. And then escalating identified critical issues to the incident response team. And then we have support, threat response, and incident investigations. So I'm trying to just showcase, like, what is the job for a SOC analyst? But actually there's some connotation back to incidents and threats. And what does that mean? Job E, monitor, prevent, detect, respond, managing threats, security incidents has come up again. Job F, respond to security incidents, threat detection and investigation, and produce documentation. So which is it? Will these analysts be working on threats or incidents? It's not very clear. And so this talk isn't a deep dive into what a SOC analyst or IR folks do. So I've purposely kept it high level. And so just a couple of points on typically what they do. Have strong technical skills in cybersecurity principles, respond to security alerts or tickets or events, whatever your organization nomenclature is, and have good communication skills. You want to be able to analyze, triage, and respond with good judgment, and be quick learners. And I'm going to cover a couple of IR job descriptions. And here, there's no real mention of any SOC type work. There's a lot of blue popping up. So, thorough investigation, in-depth knowledge, threat actors, forensics, and then job B, incident response frameworks, IRP, your collaboration with engineering, product, and operations teams, and maintaining a robust response. A couple more before we move on. The word threat has come up quite a few more times. And so job C, developing and maintaining an IRP, that's come up again, and data collection and analysis of incident response data. Job D, super exciting opportunity. So if anyone wants to link to this, let me know, I'll send it across to you. D, hands-on investigation, complex digital forensics and IR, and mentoring and training younger folks. So training of the SOC analysts. Cool. What they typically do, again, very high level, respond to security or site incidents. They have great communication skills, especially written, when you want to send instant communications to leadership, internally or externally. And they are experienced with putting events into UTC-friendly chronological order because you kind of have to, and using digital forensics and malware analysis for root cause of events. And definitely should be up there is educate users and teams to prevent future incidents. So that's all the data. The subjective bits I want to add and talk about is the blurred lines there. In the SOC job descriptions, there was a lot of use of the word threat, and it looked like you'd be working on security incidents, but the role it can be confusing for SOC analysts. For incident responders, it's completely different, but there's blurred lines, and that comes from a number of places. One being the job description. Another could be the type of SOC team design that the organization has. They could have a tiered or tierless model. Tiered being tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. You can have a tier 4. So your level 1 analyst, your level 2 analyst. And then you also have tierless. So all of those level 1 to level 4 squashed into one, and everyone works on everything. So the tierless model where everyone's working on everything, that's where you could be doing incident response. You could be trawling through logs and putting things in chronological order, malware analysis. So working on more complex things. So that's one place confusion can come from. For more blurred lines, I do agree that there will be roles where you'll be doing a lot more as we go into the future. You'll be doing SOC and IR and perhaps a bit more, adding more capabilities into the business, into your department, such as detection engineering, threat hunting, etc. I saw a tweet recently by Dave Johnson, and there's a list of roles in our industry right now that are becoming extensive, and I expect this to continue and evolve further. Just to call out a few. SIEM engineer, endpoint security engineer for GRC, offensive, adversary emulations, like the list goes on. I've linked the tweet in the slides, and there's about another 20 more something security engineer roles out there nowadays. So my closing thoughts are the confusion comes from a number of places. It's coming from the job descriptions, it's coming from perhaps your conversations with recruitment, perhaps how your leadership communicated with you. So going into those interviews, what you're hired to do versus what you're actually doing, and it all comes down to your understanding of it. Especially if you're new in security operations, your first L1 or L2 role, it's confusing. But I just want to say, let's not confuse our analysts, because they are going to be the future DFIR engineers or managers. So yeah, that's all from me. So if anyone wants to talk anything SOC, anything engineering, let's hang out afterwards. Thank you.